Well, good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with your weather update here on your August the 4th, 2026. Boy, we're getting some pretty heavy rains across parts of North Georgia here for this afternoon. Metro Atlanta especially got hit pretty hard here with some heavy rains that developed just before the lunch hour, and now we're starting to see it kind of spread out a little bit. This all part of a pesky upper level low that's kind of sitting over Georgia, and this thing may continue to spark these little pockets of potential flooding here that we're going to have to deal with not only for the rest of today, but really for the next couple days as well. Now, before we get going into this full report, if you're new here to our YouTube channel and you live anywhere across North Georgia, I'm on a mission to turn this into a professional 24-hour weather channel, and I could sure use your help. It's all about subscribers, and I really got to get those numbers moving in the right direction, and you can help. All you got to do is subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell to be alerted on all our weather updates, as well as being alerted whenever we do live severe weather coverage, exclusively for North Georgia. All right, let's get into today's report. And as you can see, I do have the yellow alert up behind me right there because of what's going on here for this afternoon. I want folks just to be weather aware that we could be looking at some heavy rains here and there. But Dahlonega right now, hey, you're not looking too bad there on your live shot for this afternoon. And here in Braselton, Georgia, also looking pretty good. Currently sitting at 88 degrees with some sunshine and some clouds out there. A little bit of a breeze, but not too bad. And as we look at the local radar, you can definitely see where the heavier rains are falling here across the region. Now, it's finally kind of rained itself out a little bit there in Atlanta. It has moved on off and spread on out, which is great because they'd seen upwards of 2 to 3 inches plus in some pockets. But you see up near the Cartersville area getting some heavy rains over there and to the west of town, and also down I-20 just to the north up toward Conyers for this afternoon. Now, what's interesting is this stuff is moving on the periphery of this low. Is going to be moving up this way. So I know the stuff over here is going to be coming back this way because the low is literally sitting right on top of Atlanta. So it is going to make tracking this stuff a little bit on the fun side, to say the least. So here's where the heaviest rains have kind of fallen here so far for today. Again, you can get an idea of what's been going on. We've seen some of these rainfall totals here. Upwards of 2 inches plus up there near the Kennesaw area, also down toward the northwest perimeter, kind of inside there, and near Vinings, looking at 2.5 inches. Also down here near Candler McAfee, also looking at some heavy rain. So you kind of get an idea. This stuff are dumping some pretty good rates here, and the good news is at least it's kind of spreading out because I tell you, when that stuff first erupted, it was like, oh man, this is causing a lot of problems. So again, you see the periphery of this thing. Again, watch what's happening with the activity. This stuff's kind of spreading out, kind of going this way. This is kind of spreading up this way because our low is sitting right there. So that's going to be what we're going to have to deal with direction-wise. So you guys up here to the north, up to Gainesville, Jefferson, and Athens, you got storms that are moving in your direction as you may get some pretty good downpours for this afternoon. But at least it's moving a little bit, okay? But they will be some pretty good gully washers, so watch out for that. You can see the satellite imagery. Watch the explosion of the storms right in the dead center of that thing. It kind of erupted here for this afternoon. As you kind of see the clouds, they're kind of migrating around that low. And hopefully it will start to weaken and lose its punch here in the next few days, but usually it could take a little while for an upper level system to clear on out. So temperatures obviously being kept down in Metro Atlanta, obviously with the rains there, you see down in the 70s there, but we got 80s up here across Northwest Georgia here for this afternoon. And we're going to continue to see this, spread of temperatures depending on the clouds and where the rains erupt here just about every day here for the rest of this week. So current watches and warnings right now, there's the flood warnings up here near the Metro Atlanta area here, a couple of special weather statements here and there. There's a warning here over in South Carolina. Now, we did see an upgrade here from the Storm Prediction Center that did put most of North Georgia here under a marginal risk for severe weather, level 1. I'm more concerned about the individual flash flooding with some of these storms, but you could see one that could pulse up to severe with some gusty winds and some, obviously, a lot of lightning with that as well. Pretty much covering just about all of North Georgia from I-20 northward, except for the extreme areas here in the western zones. That's about it. So, again, we'll watch that very closely here for the rest of this afternoon. Obviously, the heavy rain threat, this is going to be a problem, not just for today. Now, this is a low risk, and the reason why is, again, not everybody in this green zone is going to get the heavy rains. It just means conditions are favorable for pockets of heavy rains, as we showed you yesterday, and we'll show you again today. That's going to continue here over the next several days, but there's your Wednesday outlook, there's Thursday, there's Friday, and guess what? Saturday, all there. So we're gonna have to deal with these pockets of heavy rain here, upwards of 3 to 4 inches in some localized pockets throughout the week. Nothing too widespread, but they're gonna be there. So here's the model data here. So you kind of got this going in loop. This is the 12Z run here from earlier today, and you just kind of see it just spinning up the activity here with the daytime heating, basically going over the same areas over and over. So one thing's for sure, we're gonna continue to chip away at the drought conditions, but we're going to have to deal with these pockets of heavy rain here through the duration. In fact, I'll show you what we're talking about. Again, look at the individual areas in here. We're talking about these individual storms dropping some big time totals here. So, like, for example, you see there, it's showing 5.5 inches. Over here, it's showing upwards of 6 inches. You see this 1.5 over 3. So, again, every one of these pockets of storms can do some potential flash flooding, and that'll continue here for the remainder of the week. So looking at your weather maps, the good news is this old boundary is going to start washing itself out, at least the next couple of days. So I think the elevated rain chances will stay up for a couple of days, and then we'll finally start to dry things out as we go to the weekend. There is a frontal boundary. It looks like it may work its way down into Saturday a little bit, and then we'll see things begin to heat up going into next week. I'm still staying with that forecast with wet this week with kind of temperatures at or a little below normal, and then kind of still seeing things heat up going in toward next week. So the forecast here, still calling for high rain probability chances here for Gainesville, 84-69, with showers and storms likely again for tomorrow. Again, that low is not going anywhere. And looking at overnight lows here, mostly in the upper 60s and low 70s, similar to what we had here for this morning. And then your daytime highs tomorrow, just depending on obviously the eruption of storms, will be mostly into the 80s for afternoon highs once again for a lot of North Georgia. Regionally looking like this. If you want the heat, go back over here to Little Rock. Little Rock sitting there at sitting at 101 degrees over there, and you see 94 in Oxford, and you see most of North Georgia, Carolinas, all kind of being kept down because of the cloud and rain threat still lingering there for a few more days. Next 7 days, here we go, as we'll step that rain chance down to 40% going into next week, and temperatures slowly still climbing. Still thinking we're going to get into the 90s for next week for a few more places as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, as we get some ridging back in here, and kind of a little more of a traditional summertime weather pattern going into next week. Now, with all this rain around, flash flooding a possibility and all that thing, you may want to have something that'll alert you that that's a possibility. And I do have a free weather app for you. You can download here from the Apple Store or Google Play for you Apple and Android users. Again, just put in North Georgia Majestic Weather. It'll come right up. You can download that or scan the QR codes. This is a great weather app, by the way. It will tell you when there's rain approaching your area, alert you that it's coming by. Lightning detection, severe weather alert, hour-by-hour forecast, a nice future cast to kind of track that activity, as well as even a power outage map that was just added recently. So check this out. And again, we appreciate our weather app sponsor, Roof It Forward, out of Woodstock, Georgia. They're one of the premier roofing companies in North Georgia that do not only best quality work, but they give a portion of every job back to local children's charity. They truly do pay it forward, and we thank them for being our weather app sponsor. So you guys just stay weather aware here for this afternoon. Watch out for these showers and thunderstorms. Again, if you're in a flood-prone area, just kind of watch it, and hopefully this thing won't be too big of a problem. It's going to cause some headaches, especially for maybe the kids coming home from school, the bus rides and stuff like that with some of these storms, but it shouldn't be too widespread. We just got to be prepared for these local pop-up areas that happen here. Because like I said, it's one of those situations where, man, I got no rain in my backyard, but the guy down the street, he got 4 inches. That's just the way the thing is set up for right now. Again, I appreciate you guys checking us out. Make sure you give us a subscribe here on our YouTube channel. Help us grow this thing so we can make this thing as self-sufficient as possible to make our 24-hour channel a reality. I had to take down the streaming channel because I need to save for my weather computer first. That's a little bit expensive, a little more than I thought it was going to be, and I'm just going to wait until I can save for my weather computer. Then I'll bring that 24-hour channel back up. But in the meantime, y'all can help. Just subscribe. All right. Anyway, y'all be good, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.